All right, so what's up, chat? What's up, YouTube? Everybody, we got a donation league request from Abby. We're playing through some Esper Blink here with Squall Seed Mercenary. And I think while we're talking about the deck, I'm going to change some arts because I hate this white border Teferi Time Raveler. But the deck is basically the black-white Blink shell, splashing blue for Psychic Frog, consign to memory out of the board. But we are also trying out Squall Seed Mercenary from the new Final Fantasy set. Squall is 2, a white and a black for a 3/4. Where's a good Teferi? Is that the right one? Yeah. 2 and a white and black for 3/4 with the ability Rough Divide. Whenever any creature I control attacks alone, it gains double strike, and when Squall itself deals combat damage to a player, I can return a permanent with mana value 3 or less from the graveyard to the battlefield. So Teferi Time Reveler, Kaya, Boggart Trawler, Flicker Wisp, any of the 2-drop creatures, all that sort of fun stuff. Or I can return a land. So bunch of cool options for Squall. We'll see how that plays out. Oh, we got a Fairy Macabre in here to swap out as well. The rest of the deck, it is going down on ephemerates to go up on some of these value 3-drops that we can maybe hopefully get back with Squall. Also got Ashiok in the sideboard and stuff like High Noon we could potentially get back. So yeah, that looks about it for the list. Run into it. Modern League. Moosin. We might need to reset Moto momentarily. We'll update Moxfield and then cross that bridge when we get to it. Esper Blink. Loosen. Edit. Or choose that one. Nah. I would love to play first. It says opponent's also on Esper mid-range. Or last seen 15 days ago. I think I gotta mulligan this. I don't think I can keep a 7 without a for sure second land. You have a bunch of cool stuff going for it, but okay. Keep it, throw back Watery Grave. See what we get off an archive. Sure. Don't know what we're up against yet, so we'll take a chance on a Fatal Push. Let's get the deck list command updated. Okay, so Steam Vents preordain. I'm assuming that means Prowess. Witch Enchanter to take out a Quarry Steel Cutter could be pretty cool. I think I'm probably just getting basic Swamp to save a bit of life here. I've got the Flooded Strand to get like a Godless Shrine or a Shadowy Backstreet if I need double black or double white later. I don't think I care about Emperor Bones just exiling 1 card at the moment. Also with sideboarding, never take out Frog Catcher versus any combo deck. They are the fastest possible win. Fair. All right, I'm going to assume opponent's got a mutagenic growth, so I'm not going to block here. Kind of okay, just taking 2. Best draws flicker. Sorry, best I can do for you is 17 copies of Psychic Frog. No flicker, only Psychic Frog. You did in fact say it's the best card in the matchup. I'm pretty sure word for word you said all you have to do is discard your hand and you win automatically, no questions asked. Opponent will actually like scoop and apologize for ever playing Magic. Your words, not mine. So I could discard Emperor Frog, but then just like another Bolt or another Lava Dart kind of ruins my hand. Discard the Witch and the Frog, really? Let's get back Witch, but we don't know if it can activate to get Witch back right now. Feels like a lot of optimism, but you're the expert here. We'll see what happens. We'll see how this plays out. I would just let this Frog go and plan on getting like Godless Shrine to Fatal Push for this exact reason. They just have another burn spell and I just threw away 2 cards for free. So I might as well fetch Shock Shoot something because I'm either going to take 6 off 1 hit fetch Shock or I'm going to take 6, 7 off of the hits in the fetch. So I just get Godless Shrine and shoot. I'm going to shoot one of these tokens because I can have Emperor of Bones on their turn, exile like Mishra's Bauble to take them off Delirium, or if I hit a land, I can get Witch Enchanter and take out the Quarry Steel. Eventually we'll get to move to our draw step. Hell yeah. Oh. think Felia does a whole lot for me here. So I think I'm just going to go to combat, exile Mishra's Bauble, back in with Frog. Well, maybe I should have attacked with Frog first and threatened double discard. Kaya can be big if we live. I really am not convinced we're gonna live here. Not that I don't appreciate your boundless optimism, but I usually don't play against Prowess and think, oh man, this like 3 mana sorcery speed grindy value planeswalker is just what we need. Why are they violent urging the channeler? Well, it ain't pretty, but make sure I know what this does first. That's not doing nearly enough. Pass the turn. Ketramos could be something, but I have a feeling they're going to be able to kill around Ketramos pretty easily. Like Ketramos gaining 4, but if I take 12, not the most impressive payoff. Assume they're going to take the Methods for Blockers approach. So we jump the Frog, discard, jump the Frog, block the Channeler. Ketramos blocks the Swift Spear. We take 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yep. But hey, we got Kaya. So High Noon's definitely coming in. Wrath of the Sky's coming in. Pest Control coming in. Yeah, you only lose life on your turn, so I can exile everything on their turn and be okay. Fairy looks pretty bad here. Thoughtseize looks pretty bad. Ketramos is like my necessary stabler. Yeah, Squall seems a little slow. Master is definitely bad. Kind of want to just drop like an Emperor. Let's see what we got. Seems Turn 2, High Noon. A shadowy backstreet here. Now, I think I'm not gonna play the High Noon into what feels like it could be a Spell Pierce, but at the same time, maybe they're just not bringing in Spell Pierce against me, and I should go for the High Noon here. But, like, do I need to make them have it? Because I could just play an Overlord here, and there's probably not a lot they can do. And then if they have High Noon neck or like Quarry Steel plus a 2-drop, they get 1 construct, and then I get to untap and High Noon. Yeah, I think I'm going to go for the Overlord. I think I just don't have to make them have it right here. About to say, opponent's like really thinking on this Overlord. Opponent. Really surprised to see him bin a Quarry Steel there. Alright, so I could just like pending the monk token in High Noon and be kind of like solid, right? So pending the token, High Noon, go. And now I can Ketchermos, maybe Boggart Trawler myself or Boggart Trawler them or whatever. We do just have Overlord coming off and pending in a few turns. Is there any merit to running like a single some sort of try land just to be able to High Noon and kill something? Or is it just not at all like anything you'd ever be interested in? Save the Boggart to hit your own grave. Well, I want to hit their grave if they keep fetching. Or if they just keep putting stuff in the exile. Is it an Oculus? Let me tell you what card I didn't expect here. That one. Is Frog what I want to do? Yeah. Because even if they go for like a bolt on the frog, I can just save it. You do not have delirium, my guy. You're missing a crucial part of this whole endeavor. All right. Anything that's changing up now that I know Murktide is in the consideration? Teferi obviously really good into Murktide, but I don't think it's good into the rest of the deck. Ashiok's too slow, definitely on the draw. I'll just run it back. Murktide sucks. Well, we're on the wrong side of this argument. Murktide's great. Y'all are all clearly intoxicated if you think Murktide is bad or Murktide sucks. Sucks versus Blink. See, that's more fair. I'll give you that one. Swift Spear. I'm just going to go ahead and pending this. Starts getting out of hand. We'll see what they do. They 100% have a spell pierce. I would bet money on it. I think I need to find a white card for this Solitude. Death Shadow mid. What are we Death Shadow midding about? This has got to be from like, there's no way this is 2 months ago. This has got to be like, God, 4 years ago. Used to believe that's not from a while ago. Four years ago. Meanwhile, there's Nethergoyce in his hand. Well, we could very much die here if our opponent just has like Bolt, untap, Bolt. I can't seem to find a white card for this Ketchermos, or for the Solitude. I could... I don't hate Boggart Trawler right here. Yeah. Just hit your yard. And I might have to get rid of the Solitude or get rid of the Ketchermos for the Solitude. But if I can Bailmerk it back, like Bailmerk back the Solitude, I can be fine. Or they're just going to spend their entire turn casting an Expressive Iteration. Do I have to block here? Probably should. Okay. That's good. I needed a white card for this Solitude really, really badly for a hot minute now. Because I don't want to just auto lose to a into the Flood Maw or something on the Ketchermos. Thankfully, they turned on Ketchermos for us. I'm pretty sure Ketchermos got turned on from the Boggart Trawler, didn't it? They had double pending that we exiled with the 2 prismatic endings and then hit 5. Was that? And then, fair enough. Fair enough. I guess I thought there were 5 in the yard. Must have miscounted there. Listen, numbers are tough. I still believe I win some number of games because opponents can't count Ketramos zones. I know I've seen games where Blink is played and like opponents weren't counting things like cards under Leyline Binding or cards that had been like evoked to a pitch elemental or something. They were only thinking about cards that had been hit with like a relic, or didn't think about a card under an Emperor of Bones. Oh boy. Eldrazi. Bad Eldrazi. Eldrazi Mimic? What made you decide to play the enemy? Somebody offered a donation, so... I also appreciate the fact that I don't think I've played against Eldrazi in the past, like, 2 weeks or something insane. And here we are registering a deck that is, from what I hear, pretty bad into Eldrazi. And boom, Eldrazi. Come on, Eldrazi Mimic. Come on, Eldrazi Mimic. Hell yeah. We're just gonna jam. If the opponent wants to offer up the Mimic. Frogs. Also, don't be afraid to pitch cards. Game needs to be over as quickly as possible. Are you trying to tell me, who has played like 99% Psychic Frog decks since Psychic Frog came out, how to be more aggressive about my playing with Psychic Frog? How dare you? Sorry, Squee. Nice Eldrazi Mimic. Be a shame if it wasn't there no more. I'll keep the Ketramos for the minute. Polymorph Bandit, thank you so much for the follow. We're having an awesome afternoon. We'll Mimic. All right. See how close we can get. So if I got discard, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So I can't kill, but I can get a pretty big attack in and have a Ketramos blocking. do this first. Discard you. Discard you. We'll fly frog number 1. Fly frog number 2. Yes! Opponent doesn't even want to make me lose all the life and draw all the cards. That consigns. I don't think they're a build of Eldrazi I want surgical against. High Noon's pretty dead. Wrath pretty dead. They didn't look like they were on Myco spawn. They looked like they were just colorless. So I think I'm just bringing in the 4 consigns and nothing else. Bowmaster can go. They did have a lot of cheap stuff, so pending probably fine. Squalls. Well, Squall gives double strike. Maybe I want to consider that for a frog. Kai and Teferi both are pretty bad. Another Emperor of Bones. We could Emperor of Bones a Reality Smasher back. I feel like we'd be the first person in the history of Magic to Emperor of Bones back a Reality Smasher for lethal. And if that's not cool, I honestly don't know what is. How well does this... I feel like the deck mulligans pretty well. I don't know if I want to mulligan. I feel like I've got a lot of really good top decks. How's Squall been? Haven't cast it yet. We boarded it out round 1 against Prowess, and we surveilled over it last game, so TBD. I feel like if I can surveil into a Psychic Frog, pretty okay. Solitudes. We do have Ephemerate of Solitude. Important interaction to be aware of. I think we want that coming down. And an Innisphere. Okay. You still have a Revolted Push if we need it. Okay. If I know anything about this deck, that's a good draw. Can I just get Flicker Wisp here? Seems reasonable. Hate to tell you, my friend, but I think Swole will be better in Mardu. It might be, but this is a donation league, so I'm playing whatever got paid to be played. I wouldn't be caught dead playing a Solitude deck if money weren't involved. Feels weird not leaving blue open. I agree, but it wouldn't be doing anything for me. And I didn't want to play out my fetch and risk like overlording over my fetch lands. Isn't money always involved when you play decks? Not really. Because, like, most of the time I play just for the sake of playing and don't really care about the financial side of it. I was thinking about Ephemerate Solitude. I think it's reasonable. Plus, they scried 2 to the bottom, so. Bro, almost clicked on the evoke. When did I almost click on the evoke? Nowhere near. Wish I could flash in this Flicker Wisp. As much as I love Ketramos, I think we're just going for this Flicker Wisp here. Okay. Got ourselves a game, I guess. Back a frog. Go Ketramos next turn, frog after. If we had a land, we could play both. Reality Smasher has entered the chat. Take it. So I do have to shock in this trawler if I want to get Ketramos online. We're totally just going to draw Solitude white card, right? I don't think I want to draw like 6 cards, but I do want to draw enough to where Psychic Frog can outgrow Reality Smasher. Because if they do just have like an answer, like a Kozilek's command for the Ketchermos, I want this to be able to block profitably. I don't think I hate just nuking the yard. Well, I'm saying if they draw Kozilek's command and exile the Ketchermos, I want Frog to be able to discard and block the Reality Smasher. Sure. You did. So 1, 2. I'm only mad that I didn't get to Emperor of Bones kill them with their own Reality Smasher. If ever there was a reason to be upset about how a match you won ended, that would be it. And I feel like that's kind of a reasonable reaction there. Love to play first. I also think we're 3 for 3 on die rolls. But it says good luck. I'll give him the U2. Gotta go, be back in 45 minutes. We'll see you then, because I'm sure we will not be done with this league before then. Opponent said they're a fan. Opponent said they were a fan. I said I'm a washing machine. Stared at each other. Ugh. When you cast this spell, I don't get to Harrogast. I mean, I'm just taking Chrysalis. Well, like, taking Harrogast for Emperor, I don't think does anything. Because, like, I don't get the cast trigger. All I do is hit him for 6. Which isn't awful, but I feel like I could do better. Like, I feel like I could take Chrysalis, they Utopia Sprawl, I pending the Sprawl, or Emperor Bones next turn, pending the Sprawl. They put something under Ugin's lab, and I'm going to take Chrysalis. I'm going to go with my gut here. My gut just says take Chrysalis. Like, I just actively don't want to thought seize either of the payoffs and go for Emperor. I think I just want to Overlord here. which gets double Overlord in the bin. I could just Emperor my own Overlord. That doesn't seem awful. Sending Utopia Sprawl. Emperor. One, two, three, four, five. So they can't World Breaker unless they hit another Eldrazi temple. Looks like they did not. And I think I just go ahead and put this Emperor in. Attack for 9 this turn, and then play second Emperor, second Overlord next turn. This is like worse if they hit exactly Kozilek's command, but this can get back Planeswalkers? Holy shit. I did not know that. Hold up. All right, there's a Squall. I don't know if Squall does anything for me. I don't think Squall matters. It's like, what am I doing? Double striking into a chump blocker? I'd rather just catch your mouse. Have a menace attacker potentially. Or unless you mean like get Squall back with the Emperor. Yeah, Bones the Squall could be pretty hot. Doesn't get double strike, but it does trigger once. An opponent's kind of signaling that they drew a land this turn. All right, so we'll go inner combat. This one targets Squall. This one targets your Misty. That go. I don't want Squall attacking alone. I want to get the game over with. Like, what do I need 2 permanents for? Want the damage. I need to attack through. Want get opponent not alive no more. Pending. Pending. Ah. I just want the clip. See, you should have said that earlier. We could have maybe come to an agreement if that was stated earlier in the process. I'm just going to give you a hard time about it. I still think it's funny how I'm pretty positive I have not seen Eldrazi in a solid 2 weeks, and then running into it multiple times this league as soon as he swapped off of Demir. Seems reasonable. We can Ephemerate Solitude if we absolutely need to. We can Thoughtseize on 1. Maybe pending a Utopia Sprawl or a Talisman or something. Might be a little too derpy for the draw, but... And on 1. Let's go ahead and go for Thoughtseize. Malevolent Rumble, whole bunch of payoffs. Thoughtseize on 2, not 1. You know what I meant. Jukabog me. Jukabog. Did we get lucky enough to Thoughtseize on 1? We did, actually. All right, so they've got 1 unknown card in hand. It could be a Kozilek's command. So if their unknown card is a Kozilek's command, this would be pretty bad because they'd get to Exile, like, make 2 dudes, untap, exile my Ketchermos with Devourer. No, they'd be 1 short. They'd have to hit an untapped land. So I think that means I want to go for the Ketchermos here. They've got it. I should have known when they played the Forest untap, but now if they hit an untapped land, they can exile Ketchermos. Unless I Solitude now. Didn't crack the Sanctum. I think I want to do this now so they don't Harrogast. Go spawn or Chrysalis. Okay. Go ahead and blink this, get the Chrysalis out. Makes this emerged Harrogast a lot more expensive. All right. Harrogast, Emrakul. Bunch of unknowns. Two, three, four, five, six, seven. They don't have double red for Harrogast, but they do have the mana to be able to evoke. I don't think I'm supposed to be Ashiok-ing myself until like I find a I can't search. Goes Lex return. That is fine. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. Annoying, but fine. Just need a threat. Chrysalis off that. Threat. Now I think I want to Ashiok myself. If I get back Elia. Okay. All the spawns say go. So they got Chrysalis. Chrysalis, Harrogast, Emrakul, unknown. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think I just let this go. If I let this go, flash in Felia, untap, attack in with Felia, blink Overlord. They block with Chrysalis. Overlord gets back. Solitude. I get to keep Consign up. Yeah. All right. Attack in. Overlord. Yep. Attack Overlord. Returning what? Solitude, or we could get back Emperor of Bones. Solitude. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Ways off Emrakul. They don't have double red for Harrogast. World Breaker. Don't really want you calling my Overlord. That off the battlefield. Flash in Felia. And it's still Emrakul, Hairgas. And I think I just go... Well, maybe not. Back in with both. Felia blinks the spawn. Overlord gets back a Solitude. Just evoke Solitude. Get rid of Chrysalis. Seems fine. Nuts off the top, just hitting the consign. Blink you. What about blinking Chrysalis? I could. I don't know if it really matters that much. Maybe it's fine, but I think I'm just gonna hit them with these and then like maybe next turn get back the frog. And just never tap off Consign to Memory again. Could also get back Emperor Bones and have a World Breaker to help the clock. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. Still don't have enough hammer for Harrogast. Kind of hilarious. Also works. I think I'm gonna Felia blink the Ashiok here too. I let him crack the Misty. I let him crack the Misty, but I don't tap off Consign. And I just get to like mill them out. Are they getting back World Breaker? Okay, too. They got rid of their fetch too. Probably take that one because they can't cast the Harrogast. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They can if they hit a land, but like I've got Consign, right? So I don't even care if they do hit a land. But if they want to get back this one again, they got to sack another land. Yeah. But if I like let them keep the World Breaker and they cast this targeting the Overlord, then like I have to consign that. So it just forces me to use my consign whether I want to or not. But if I let them, if I take the World Breaker, let them keep the Harrogast, I can choose whether or not to consign. And if they don't hit the land, then they just like don't put anything on the battlefield I care about consigning anyway. I get to keep my Overlord. All right, round 4. We finally lose a die roll. We've been vanquished on the rolls. I don't love this hand, but also like don't know what I'm up against, so I don't know how bad it is. Like it's got a Fatal Push on the draw and a Teferi, so if I'm up against something fairish, maybe I can like flash in Felia, bait, untap, resolve Teferi. If I'm up against something aggro, maybe the Fatal Push into eventual Ketchermos will get there. Gonna go ahead and Fatal Pushed the Tameo. What this is. I don't have a clue what this is. Some sort of combo if it's shifting woodlands. So maybe like 4-color Jeskai Ascendancy. Breach, just breachless breach. Let's get a swamp, maybe. Entirely sure what I want to be getting here. I'll just bounce to 6, attack in with Felia, reset the Teferi. Maybe Song of Creation. That could be a good guess. Forgot that was a thing that could be around. Probably a good shout out. All right. Are we dead? Feels dead. I don't know what the deterministic number is for Song of Creation. I'm sure there's some amount of cards that you can have to where like you physically cannot fizzle anymore. And I'm assuming we're well past that point, especially with Moxes, but we'll wait and see what the win condition is. Assume just like Thassa's Oracle. I absolutely believe in my my magic heart of hearts. At some point in Modern's history, Emery is gonna get banned. Don't know when it'll be, but seems like every just broken artifact deck that ends up becoming rampant and problematic starts with like 4 Emery, 4 Mox Opal. Look at like the Uro or the Oko piles. Look at Breach. Affinity with Saga if it starts creeping that way. Emery Mopal member. Tameo Rumble's pretty good shell. It is. It is indeed. And I just think that like out of that shell, Emery is the one I would say is like the most likely to cause a deck to get pushed over the edge. Because we're like seeing Emery as a win condition in the Jeskai Ascendancy decks because Emery with Corey Steel Cutter just lets you go infinite in that deck in a way that like Stitcher's Supplier never allowed. So I just think that Emery is like the kind of card that just teeters on that problematic point a little too much. That's not me saying, oh my God, emergency ban Emery. It's too good. It needs to be gone right now. Just, I think Emery's the card that's probably like the closest. I think I'm going to cut Emperor entirely here. This is technically Thought Season to High Noon, so like a start at least. Wrath Pest Control. I think Wrath Disguise is just like, I think this deck is trying to hold everything in their hand until they get Song of Creation down. So I don't think I want a Wrath that like requires things to be out on the board. You know what I mean? Now, unfortunately, I don't think there's any way that I can play this game without showing them high noon. I would prefer not to, so that if I could maybe win without showing it, I have an edge in game 3 if they don't know what my sideboard plan is for them. But I just really doubt I'm going to be able to do that. But we'll see. Anything is possible. What did they get? They got Misty. Yeah. Bolts down. They're one card for turn. All right. I think after this attack, I would just probably get back Fairy Macabre. Try to stop anything from killing me here. But now I have to go into game 3 with them knowing about high noon. Hi, what's up? Thank you so much for the raid. Hope you had an awesome stream. Playing through a donation league with some Esper blank. Currently 3-0. We're up against what's it called? Song of Creation. Look at the rest, you're going to sleep. Well, good night. Hopefully you get some good rest. Seems okay. We've got Thoughtseize, Prismatic Ending for something early. Got Witch Enchanter as a second land. Yeah, I got it. Just kind of figuring out how to not die to this deck real quick. Take the song. But yeah, welcome everybody from Pi's stream. Hope y'all are all doing well. We had a sweet last league. If it's your first time here, my name is Michael, Control Freak on Magic Online. Play a lot of Modern, usually a lot of Dimir Frog, Dimir Oculus. Like I mentioned, I got a donation request to play Esper Blank. So I'm kind of fumbling my way through this. Look at Ashiok. Why not? I need land for it, but helps get Catchermose online pretty well. If I can get to that next land. Definitely need another black source for Thoughtseize plus Bowmaster. They just naturally draw another Song of Creation. Okay. This mana is not wanting to cooperate this game. So I think I'm just going to sit on Bowmaster this turn. Try to flash in Bowmaster into turn. Or flash in Bowman if they go for repeal. I don't think they can go off with Bowmaster in play, so hopefully that means they have to commit 3 mana to repealing the Bowmaster unless they just draw Lightning Bolt. Ugh. They have a land they're going to be able to recast Song if they want. Got a Thoughtseize and Hope. Got the Bolt. We'll just take Amber here. Or no, take Repeal. We'll see if 6 hits a land, or if they naturally hit a land, or they hit Shifting Woodlands. Okay. Fair enough. They've got enough to cast Endurance, so they probably just got enough to go off. Yeah. They're plenty good now. Man, I hate the mana not functioning there. Felt like a pretty solid solid game plan if we could have just gotten that third color. Just one more land. All right, let's rebound for round number 5. Proctor Lowell. Okay. Got Solitude early. We got Frog on 2. Catchermose after the Frog. Looks like we're up against Boros. All right, let's just go ahead and exile this Ocelot. Sappy, what's up? I know it's been a little late, but haven't been able to make a stream since. It's cool seeing you in the feature match in Indy. I hate that that's the one you had to see, because that was an awful, awful feature match to watch. It was like game 1, mold to 5, and I think opponent just played like 6 or 7 cards on turn 1. And then game 2, I think I got stuck on 2 lands for a while with like a Harbinger of the Seas in hand. Just no good entertainment value came from that match. All right. Let's go for Overlord. A little rough. There's a lot of rough. We all know it. But no, it was a fun event regardless, so I'm not upset about it. I think I'm just going to go ahead and Solitude the Voice here. This might be pretty aggressive, but like if they untap and have something to get rid of the Overlord, then I can just untap and play Catchermose. And we're like not at parity, but I've got a Catchermose. And then just Frog after to draw a few cards back. So I don't think I'm like that worried about going down on cards. Modest of Mine coming in with a raid. Thank you so much. It was better to pitch catcher to flicker on turn 3. Well, I think I want the catcher most like in play. I think having that is pretty important. Hope you had an awesome stream. Welcome everybody from Modest Chat. I'm just kind of thinking that they're going to have a really difficult time getting catcher most, or like getting through catcher most, but apparently if they just have ocelots for days, it's a different argument. But they are empty-handed. A billion tokens, but we have a catcher most. All right. We just need like a little bit of help. And I believe we can get out of this. Step in the right direction. Maybe not. We might be dead, but... So if I fatal push a Johnny... Block Pride, block Pride. I'm going up to 18. Taking 2, 4, 6, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Yeah, I'm dead. Yeah, we way dead. Beat 1 Ocelot Pride. We're not beating double Ocelot Pride. Would have played Grixis Hollow One and probably got wrecked. So like the red black Hollow One with Winter Night stories. Is that it? Frog in Winter Night. Fair. Okay, bringing in Surgical for Flage. Aya in, I guess. I was playing Hollow One and Dimir Merc and kind of slammed them together. That's usually how good decks are made, right? Hey, here's this existing thing. Like, you got Hollow One in my Murktide region. Well, you got Murktide in my Hollow One. Frog and Mako together is insane. I would believe that. Mardu. Liked it better when I thought this was just Boros. So if they went and got Godless Shrine, I'm going to go with the assumption that they have something black in hand already. So maybe a Fatal Push, maybe a Bowmaster. All right, is there anything... I feel like most of the plays here don't really matter that much. Like, evoke Solitude, I'll Flicker Wisp, get rid of the voice. Bowmaster, shoot you, attack in, blink Bowmaster. Kind of whatever. Guess I could attack in and see if they block. And then have Bowmaster. I have to imagine they just don't block. It's just like the most obvious I have Orcish Bowmaster ever. What do I know about being obvious with a play? Wink. All right. Got like a Blage. Honey, sure. Troll out here making plays logically. Jokes on him. Okay, so if I attack in and blink the cat token, it's not considered dying, so a Johnny does not trigger, correct? Think that sounds believable. It's like a Johnny needs to see this go to the graveyard, not get blinked. They're gonna go for kill their own cat. I don't know what I did to deserve this, but you know what? We'll take it. Seems like a good exchange indeed. Why not just push Felia? I'm guessing they thought maybe I would attack in and like blink my Bowmaster to shoot a token or something. I don't know. Listen, I'm not one of these Boros players. God. This is like the hand my opponents always have when I'm on Frog. It's like, what if I had every Solitude? Every single one of them right here together at once. An opponent mulled to 5. Nice. I'm gonna play around Dashed Ragavan. Play around Dashed Ragavan plus something else. So the Johnny trigger on the stack. We will Fatal Push because the opponent has shown a propensity to kill their own dudes to flip a Johnny. And I don't want them to do that. Undercity Sewers, in case we draw a Psychic Frog. Sure. I think my entire game plan at this point is just get to hard cast a bunch of Solitudes. Like, we'll figure it out from there. I don't think I've ever seen energy with 3 Surveil lands. You missed us winning. You missed us lose game 3 of round 4 to Song of Creation. Because I kept a hand with Bleachbone Verge, double Witch Dudes, and never saw a 3rd land. And died with like double Prismatic Ending in hand and a Ashiok and something else. That is a Vindicate. Definitely not the world's greatest showdown. I think I am going to play out a frog, though. Try to get, like, some sort of baited action here somewhere. Like, either Vindicate and don't play out the Flage, or Flage and don't get to Vindicate. Frog does in fact live. All right. Am I just discarding double Solitude? Seems reasonable. All right. So there is an important thing I need to keep in mind. And that is, if they do manage to keep this Ajani around, that could cause some issues down the road. So maybe I want to go land, attack. Like option number 1 is fly the frog, attack in, Overlord back a Solitude. Figure it out from there, which isn't bad. Option number 2 is attack in with frog, let them block with the cat, Solitude the Ajani with the flip trigger on the stack. And then Overlord next turn. But I think just hard casting Overlord is fine here. I could definitely see a world where like opponent escapes Flage and targets their own cat token. I wouldn't be terribly shocked by that. You got it. So if they get back Flage, shoot their own. This is game 3. If they get back Flage, shoot their own cat. They're not going to do anything. I was not expecting do nothing. Do nothing, and you let me go to combat. Okay. Would love to get back Etermos. Well, I mean, I can just get back Psychic Frog next turn. I don't think it's that big of a deal. Or I can just get back Boggart Trawler and exile their exile their Flage and everything. Oh no, shit. Ah. Why do they name these both Boggart? Why would you name both halves starting with Boggart? Well, I know the bottom. Oh, and they have the arena. Get out of here. I'm under inspection period for a house and the sewer line is damaged. Am I out of line if I ask the seller to fix it? They seem to not want to and are offering just 3.5K in closing costs. You're not out of line at all for asking the seller to fix it. That's completely reasonable. Wonder if they go after the Overlord here. Yeah. So I'm just going to trade off with the cat. Trade off with the cat. Take 6. Play another Solitude. Exile the Flage. Yeah. I agree. They like have to hit something this turn, or I can start Felia, Flickering Solitude. You know what the hot play is? The hot play is Flicker Wisp, like blink my Boggart, Bog, whatever. Attack in, blink the Flicker Wisp, comes back in, into turn, blink out their Arena of Glory. That's the hot play. Well, I want to know what my play is before I start committing mana to anything. So if I Flicker Wisp, my Boggart, go 1, 2, 3, Flicker Wisp the Boggart, back in, gain 3. Have any more surveils? Just trying to think if there's any argument to blinking the Solitude. I could also just like blink out their voice on their turn, but I kind of like the idea of blinking out the Arena. The Boggart comes back in your graveyard finally. But I wonder if, like, blinking out the arena even matters. Maybe it is right to just blink out the voice. What are they going to haste up into a pair of 3/1s? Okay. Despite my inability to cast the correct side of Boggart Trawler, we do manage to limp our way across to a 4/1. What did we think of the deck? Let me move some stuff around so that the YouTube video gods don't get mad at me. See everything. Okay. Starting from the left, mana base was fine. I kind of feel like I would rather this Bleach Bone, one of these Bleach Bones, just be another fetch. But that's kind of minor. Not something I'd get too caught up on. We did see Ephemerate Flicker Wisp one time. Thoughtseize, push, pending, all fine. Pending, I think, was like the worst of the creature removal, but it was the only thing that got to hit a Utopia Sprawl, so that's cool. But I guess you could always like Flicker Wisp out of land with the Sprawl. Felia, great. Emperor Bones, pretty cool for having a quicker clock. Bowmaster. I'm a little iffy on some of these one-ofs. So like the one Bowmaster, one Flicker, one Kaya, one Teferi. I think I'd rather cut the Teferi, cut the Kaya, and go up to 3 Flicker Wisp. Like, I get the Planeswalker value with Seed, but I also think if you're just getting back, like, Felia, Flicker Wisp on something, Bogger, like, that's probably fine. We could have done some more with Seed for the memes. It's definitely not the greatest into the aggro matchups, but giving something double strike, especially like a Frog or Ketchermos, is pretty cool. I don't hate it in here. It's probably, somebody mentioned it's probably better in the Mardu list. I agree with that. And it's also probably better if you're all in on like the Aether Vial lists. So running Recruiter of the Guard and White Orchid Phantom and that sort of stuff. Probably a lot better with those than it is with just like value 3-drop deck. Getting Ketchermos online was a little rough. I think there were several times where I looked up how to Ketchermos with like 3 cards in exile and needed to find another way to get it online. It's like, I understand not having Relic in here, but Ketchermos Frog is a little inconsistent. And the number of times that we looked up and it was like, oh, we need to Boggart Trawler, but there's only one Trawler, or we need like Ashiok or something. I think I just want like 1 or 2 more ways to a little more consistently get Ketchermos online. Overlord, great. Solitude, great. High Noon was great out of the board. Never got to cast Wrath of Skies. Sign was great. Never got to do anything with Fairy Macabre or Surgical. Ashiok was cool. I almost feel like I just want a 4th copy of High Noon. Yeah, we got to Ashiok against Eldrazi and just like stop 2 fetches. stop a Sanctum of Ugin, and they couldn't Harrogast us. Oh. I could see an argument for Orcus Bowmaster being a 24th land in Boggart. I'd probably agree with that. I think having another trawler would be pretty sweet. Ashiok and Kaya's instant win. The -5. Yeah, I think where this deck is gonna struggle is any of these like non-creature combo decks. So I kind of like the idea of just maxing out on high noons and saying like Storm and what do we run into? Song of Creation and that kind of stuff. We're just gonna have 4 high noons. It looked really good when we had it in play. And I definitely think the game I lost, high noon would have helped. Because we could have thought seized away the 2 repeals and landed a high noon and probably won from that. So I'd probably go up to the 4th copy of high noon. But otherwise, pretty fun list. I was surprised. Definitely felt like there was a lot of forgiveness to the deck. I could screw up and still have a reasonable chance of getting away with it. And it definitely made me want to play high noon in some of like the Esper builds that I've been on, the Frogtide builds.